All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. The staff of Scum and Villainy Cantina is getting it going on today, and I am pressing buttons here behind the scenes. Looks like we've got picture, we got audio. I am walking around. Hello. I'll be right there. Feel free to tweak all the camera settings, like play with stuff as long as I'm live. Neat. Look. If you want to play with the other shot too, play with the other shot. All right, let's put these right here. And it looks like we're going to do this live right here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Torn Tuesday. I am looking at the chat room. Hello, Kay. Hello, Candace. Arna. I always forget. Rebecca. I'm seeing a bunch of good people. What did you guys think of all of the latest information from the show? There were a lot of things. Good day, Nilsson. Hey, is that like Nilsson, like the 70s singer-songwriter Nilsson? Because I'm a big fan. I'm a big. Nilsson, like after the rain? Not Nelson, after Nilsson, L-I-N-I-L. I think my phone's over near the booth. Could you grab my phone over there? We're gonna take phone calls from you. Cliff took the day off because he had a stressful night at work and needed to relax. So I've got my phone here, and the phone number is in the title of the stream, 530-64-FRODO. That's really our phone number. Those will go right to here. I want to take all the phone calls. It's just you and me today. It's just you and me. Sarah Draper, good to see you. I hope you get to New Zealand one day, Sarah, and live out your dream. Rebecca, it's been so long since I've been able to catch a live show. Great to see you, Rebecca. I remember that name. Usually you hit up YouTube, but it's Facebook tonight. Warren says, I hope these are okay leaks, like nobody transgressing their NDA contracts with prison sentences. No one's going to prison leaking stuff. They will get fined millions of dollars and maybe lose their job, but no one's going to prison right now. 530-643-7636 is the phone number. You can find that in the description of the video. So if you haven't seen what we're talking about, go to theonering.net, open up a new tab, and go to theonering.net, and you'll see 20 new leaks, 20 new set leaks from Lord of the Rings. That's what we're talking about today. Arna says, Milford Sound, Numenor. Yes, that sounds so cool. Although, one of the things that I wanted to do today is go through this list. We've received a lot of feedback from fans and from unmentionables saying this is right and this is wrong. You got it way right and you got it way wrong. Mostly you got it way wrong, but maybe that's a diversion from certain people. So I'm gonna go do what I just told you to do. I'm gonna go to the onering.net and I'm gonna bring up the list. I'm gonna tell you what we heard, what the latest that we've heard. Steven, YouTube chat is so quiet today. I know, it's so weird. I think there's just other stuff on everybody. Cecilia, hola, Cecilia. So anyway, we got big news today. I wish I had a producer besides me because I could show you the latest late-breaking stuff. If you go to our Twitter, you can see that there's some casting information, but we'll have to show you that next week when I can do things and Cliff can host. Today, Cliff has a day off. He had a stressful day at work, stressful night at work, and he needed to relax. So if you go to the onering.net, we're going to review the 20 new details from Amazon's Lord of the Rings while the staff of Scum and Villainy get ready to open. Scum and Villainy is our home for Torn Tuesday for the last few years. And can we announce this? Have you announced the secret project? You can talk about it. Okay. Well, this is exciting. All right. Obviously, Scum and Villainy Cantina is inspired by a galaxy far, far away, but it's got Dobby in the corner, and it's got a cheddar goblin, and there's a bunch of other stuff that are not. There's the taps are a motorcycle engine, but there is something very, very special coming to Scum and Villainy Cantina, which is now fully open, even though the masks mandate keeps changing, that we don't have any control over. But, the World Health Organization says something, the CDC changes their mind and then changes it back. So right now, Scum and Villainy is open for everybody. Is it all ages? It's still all ages until 8 p.m. So come on down, all ages till 8 p.m. You need a mask, and then as soon as you sit down at a table or booth, you can imbibe the finest from the Shire. But the big thing is they are building the Prancing Pony in the back. This is huge, huge, huge. Pretty soon, by the end of this year, you will be able to come to Scum and Villainy in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, the stars of the Walk of Fame right here, and then you can go out the back and enter the Prancing Pony, and it's a whole. I've seen the drawings. It's amazing.
Should we hold them up to camera?
I can't.
I don't know if anybody will see it.
No one's gonna see it. Not in.
Can you see it?
Oh, spoiler! See, if you can screenshot that, good for you, because no one else can see it.
Should I go up there? Should I show this off?
I can change
the focus.
It's your cantina.
I'll do it. It's not by the end of the year, Justin. Like in the next 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, before the end of the summer, this will be ready to go. Here, I'll go. I'm gonna run over there, and I'm gonna change the focus of the camera to show off a couple of these renderings.
All right, owner of Star Wars of Scum and Villainy Cantina. Gosh, I shouldn't say that word. We're gonna have an unofficial Prancing Pony. I gotta check the name of that. We might have to call it the Prancing Colt. All right, here's your sneak peek at the new addition to Scum and Villainy Cantina. Look at those drawings. This is what it's going to be like sitting there. Those are the 4 walls that surround you. There's going to be there's going to be giant barrels, just like the dwarves would have. And can we tell them the big surprise? Should we tell them the big surprise? The literal big surprise? JC's coming around.
if it's the One Ring always gets all the scoops, so I feel like we should give One Ring the scoop.
All 98 of you right now, scoop.
So we'll lead up to it. So you saw the Hobbit door. That's going to be a mural on the wall behind, and then I think every hour on the hour we're going to use projection mapping and put a fireworks display projection mapped on the wall, a la Gandalf.
Really?
Yeah. So I think every hour on the hour we're going to do Gandalf's fireworks show out back.
Oh my gosh, you heard it here first. We're going to first call on the hotline, 530-64-FRODO. Let's take it. Hi, who's calling?
Hi, it's me again. Sorry to bother you.
Hey, no problem. What'd you think of the thing we just said?
You guys are pretty awesome. I'm excited about how you guys plan to design the Scum and Villainy. Justin, earlier you just said, I misheard you, but did I hear you earlier just say that you encouraged fans to come visit Scum and Villainy in person someday?
Yes, it's wide open,
Yeah,
right?
we're open. 6 p.m. every night.
7 days a week.
7 days a week, open at 6 p.m.
Cool. I would love to come visit you guys someday. I live in Everett, Washington, so.
Well, I hope you can make it out. Everyone makes. If you come to LA, of course you're going to come to Hollywood because that's what people do. And your first stop needs to be Scum and Villainy. And if you can make it down within 6 weeks, you might be one of the first to sit at the Prancing Pony or something like it.
Okay, now my set leaks on what I think. I think they're cool, and I think Lenny Henry is an excellent choice to play Harrowfoot, Hobbit, from the Second Age. What do you think?
I think he's perfect as a halfling, a Harfoot.
Thanks. I mean, so you guys are awesome. I mean, you got your set leaks from last week were awesome. Your casting is awesome. Thank you for sharing it. You guys did awesome last week.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. We're gonna get back to the show. All right.
So I've got one more reveal for the back, our new back patio there. Yes. The other thing that we're going to start doing is so it's all going to be picnic tables. So you'll be sitting at a picnic table, but we're going to have one picnic table that we're going to build at twice the size. So you can sit at that picnic table, and we're going to start selling beer in Hobbit-sized pint glasses. Like 34-ounce beers. So you can sit at the oversized picnic table with an oversized beer and take a photo, and it'll look like you're a hobbit. Because everybody sitting at the other picnic tables will be the correct size relative to the table they're sitting at.
So the table will be bigger, the cups will be bigger, like basically an oversized patio, furniture, and drinks to make you look like a half-size halfling at the Prancing Pony and Brie.
And then there's the other big reveal. The other big reveal.
I don't know this.
No, you do know.
Okay.
It's we're getting a life-size, full-size troll head that will be mounted to the wall.
Well, we don't know where it's gonna. We're gonna have to build a cage for it, but basically, the Cantina is going to have a cave troll.
Cave troll, and so it'll be. If you've been here before, as you walk down the back hallways out of the main bar, we have currently one of the doors is decked out like the door to Moria.
That's right.
And that entire hallway will all be
it glows
Lord of the
by
Rings.
black light. So you guys, Scum and Villainy is coming back strong post-pandemic. No, we're not post-pandemic. We're in the middle of it. So
I'd like to think that we're not quite in the middle of it. I'd like to think we're on like the falling action or whatever.
That's right. So if you guys ever come to LA, you'll want to make it to Scum and Villainy. If you haven't done already to support a mom and pop business, you'll want to come back in about 6 to 8 weeks. There'll be a whole new experience, a whole new thing. I'm so excited. And we've reached out to several of our friends. One of the inspirations for this is we did a reunion for the Cannes Film Festival with Weta Workshops, Richard Taylor, and Mark Ordesky and everybody. And they said that Weta had built an oversized bar at the Cannes Film Festival. So all the festival goers felt like little hobbits. Now you can do that any day of the week here at Scum and Villainy. I see so many wonderful people. Simon, I see Julie James. I see New Zealanders in here. I see Englanders in here. I see YouTubers and Facebookers. So let's go through it. We're getting text messages and phone calls. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. On the text message. Again, 530-643-7636 is our phone number. Goes right to my phone. You can call the Torn hotline text it anytime. I want to know what you guys think of the latest scoops. River in the chat room says, just want to say I've been loving Collecting the Precious podcast so far. That's great. If you didn't see the news we announced, I think it was last week. This last week, we just started our brand new Lord of the Rings collector's show. It's called Collecting the Precious. It's a brand new show on our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/theoneringnnet if you're not already watching it there. Collecting the Precious, our collectibles editor, longtime collectibles editor, Josh, is hosting a new collectibles thing. And the thing is, now is the best time to start it because we're hearing that there's going to be more Lord of the Rings collectibles coming this year, and by next Christmas, a whole lot of new stuff. The rumors are that Amazon is actually got the license to make toys based on their TV show. So here we go. A full swing of Lord of the Rings is coming next year. Great to see everybody. A Norwegian is in the chat room. Hello, Simon. So, Tammy, what scoops? Tammy wants to know. If you go to, if this wasn't just me here, I could show you on screen. But I've only got 2 arms, and one of them's got to hold this mic. So I can't really show you anything on screen. But if you go to theonering.net, we have a post from last week, a spy report of 20 new details from Amazon's Lord of the Rings. So we went through it last week for about 3 hours with Nerd of the Rings, which is super awesome. But this week, we've got updated information, and Cliff's not here to react. So I'm just going to tell you guys, again, call and text with your, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinions. So, first things first. Short-haired elves, definitely true. Short-haired Galadriel, not true. We have new video that is only 3 months old that I can't show you. But Morfydd Clark, the new actress that's playing Galadriel, has long, flowing blonde hair. Is beautiful. As beautiful as Cate Blanchett. So we can confirm that Galadriel does not have a pixie cut. Galadriel has long hair. And we've heard from so many fans on all the platforms reinforcing the fact that Galadriel's hair has been an item, a thing, for thousands of years, okay? If you look at the lore, even small little comments of different characters and different elves and different leaders, they all comment on her hair. And, you know, basically the punctuation to the legends of Galadriel's long, beautiful hair is Gimli receiving 3 strands of hair. And you guys in the chat room probably know more about the lore, you know, than I can explain here. But Galadriel has long, flowing, blonde hair. We can confirm that now. Interesting thing, people are saying, well, she looks like young Galadriel, and the elves wouldn't have aged. Morfydd Clark, now, as we speak, as she's filming Lord of the Rings, is the same age Cate Blanchett was when she was filming Lord of the Rings 20 years ago. So there you go. The current actress for Galadriel is the same age Cate Blanchett was. And if you look at the photos of Morfydd Clark, you'll be shocked how close they got to Cate. I mean, this is a really, really great casting, one of the most exciting things. I wish I could show you a picture side by side. I will work on that for next week because we've got video, we've got photos. We don't have her in costume yet, but you can see what she looks like right now in everything. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Valinor. I think we used all those jokes on Thorin and Thranduil. Thranduil had amazing hair. Boy, wouldn't that be a catch to see Lee Pace again in Amazon's show. So the other big thing, the other big update. Again, this is all rumors and speculation. We don't know if any of this is true because Amazon and nobody official has confirmed or denied anything. Zero. We've heard nothing. Not even a retweet. Not even a video on YouTube from another YouTube. So we don't know if anything's official. So the other rumor I hear is Lenny Henry may not be a Harfoot, a halfling, a pre-hobbit, but he is still a short-statured character. So that's the latest that we've heard. In the last week since we published this news story, the latest rumors are Lenny Henry is definitely a half-size person, but he might be a dwarf or he might be a Harfoot. So I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Lenny Henry, the legend, the comedic legend, do you think he would be better suited as a Harfoot, which is basically an early hobbit, or do you want to see him as a dwarf leader? Majkus in the chat room says, dark and short, probably Druidane. Are there Druidanes dwarves? I don't remember the lore. Druidane. Can you guys explain? Cliff's not here to correct my lore, so you guys in the chat room gonna have to explain Druidane. But we already determined last week that Harfoots are described as browner of skin or darker of skin. That's from J.R.R. Tolkien's actual description. So we know for a fact that the lore from Tolkien supports Lenny Henry being a Harfoot. And it's one of the very few times that Tolkien describes the visage, the skin color, basically. Remember, he also describes Aragorn as having darker skin. But, then we got a Dane. Lenny Henry, River in the chat room says, Lenny Henry would be great in any role. What a legend. Here's why I'm excited about this. You're absolutely right. He's a legend. Lenny Henry is a legend in the UK. And he's unknown outside of the UK. I'll say that right now. He's absolutely unknown in the US, especially, but he is just unknown outside of the UK. The fact that the world is going to meet this man and his talents and his skill and his roaring laughter, possibly, and they're going to meet him through Lord of the Rings. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Fabricio says, a black dwarf? Absolutely. If we go back far enough, Tolkien does not preclude or exclude any of these types of descriptions. And so the interesting thing is the dwarves of the Hobbit movies were all cast with really great comedic actors. If you look at the cast of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit, they were all comedians, top of their game. James Nesbitt. You even had Billy Connolly as the Dwarf King. So you've got some of the best and brightest and funniest comedians in The Hobbit as dwarves. That's why I think that there is some credence to the rumor that Lenny Henry could be a dwarf, because the Hobbit movies had a bunch of comedians as dwarves. And although he doesn't have the same U.S. appreciation, Lenny Henry is on the level of Billy Connolly. There, I said it. What else we got in the chat room? Again, you can call and text 530-64-FRODO. Oh, I got another text message. Hi, this is Kay. Hello, Kay. Reading a text message from the hotline. I am not happy with elves having short hair. Not very Middle-earth elves of them. But I'm certainly glad Galadriel will have her beautiful long hair as it should be. All right, very good. Not happy about the elves with short hair. You know, I don't know if we got into it last week. There might be one way to look at the short hair elves thing. And that's based on the other rumor we heard, which is the nudity, the limited nudity that supposedly they filmed. Doesn't mean it's going to be seen on screen, but the limited nudity that we've heard that they filmed is based around the corruption of the elves into orcs in a concentration camp type of visual. So, if you remember the other big movie about concentration camps and real life concentration camps, they shaved people's heads. Everybody had short or no hair. They just shave your locks off. So, this rumor of short hair elves could also mean that's part of the concentration camp scenes where they shave the legendary locks of the Sylvan elves as part of the corruption into orcs. I'm trying to remember if orcs had long hair or not. So that's my other thought, is that the short hair elves, the short hair is part of the corruption of the elves. So that is super creepy and super adult. And so just based on that rumor alone, the concentration camps and the corruption of the elves, it means this show is dark. Like, you know, when Jeff Bezos said, "Bring me Game of Thrones," the corruption of the elves into orcs there's almost nothing more dark than that. And they're going for it. That single rumor shows the scale of this show. Like the huge, huge scale. I can't believe they're going there. As soon as I heard it, me and Cliff were like, I can't believe we're going there. All right, we got another text message. Will we be revisiting Rivendell in the Second Age? If so, what do you think it will look like in the Second Age? Great question. I think Cliff will have a different response, but because Cliff's not here, you get mine. I think Rivendell doesn't exist yet. I think through the course of the show, 5 seasons or more, if this was Dan Harmon, it would be 6 seasons and a movie. I think through the course of the show, we see Elrond make a decision to build Rivendell. And it's for a very specific reason. And I think part of the show going into maybe season 4 or 5, you start to see the familiar places come alive in this world, in Amazon's show. So I don't think, nothing we've heard, no set leaks, no photos, nothing we've heard is anything to do with Rivendell. But those are just the rumors. Princess Toy Nerd in the chat room says, when was Rivendell built? That's a great question. It was built during the War of Elves and Sauron. So Rory in the chat room, the timeline matches up to the TV show. If this show over 5 seasons is going to show the War of Elves and Sauron and the event, you know, all that stuff, we will see the creation of Rivendell and maybe the spell, the protection spell that is put over that area to hide it from the Dark Lord. We got another question. Great. Keep it up, guys. 530-643-7636. River is here in the text. He says, I would wager a guess that the short-haired elves are Noldor, perhaps sporting closer cropped locks to keep their hair out of those hot forges. There you go. That's a great point, actually. I mean, you got to consider the map and consider the job. Consider the locations of all the characters in this show and consider their job. All right? Alan in the chat room says Rivendell was built as a protection against Arnor after the fall as well. Maybe. Leo in the chat room says, I feel like this show will be so good. OMG. I do too. I'm really excited. So, what else? You know what we have heard? I don't think this was in the spy report. You know what? I'm just going to take this rumor as my own. Cliff is not here to fact check me. The rumor I heard is that the one familiar... You know what? I'll let the chat room guess. I have heard one very familiar location from the Lord of the Rings movies will be featured in the first season of this show. I want you guys to guess in the chat room. I want to see the chat room. Guess which location so they supposedly have built and have filmed in. And I'll tell you in a couple minutes. No one knows anything about the storylines. Robert wants to know, I want to know if Mordor looked less like hell on Middle-earth before Sauron chose it for his capital. I believe the lore in the books would say that it did have rolling fields of greens. In fact, they cultivated it to feed the army. Or maybe that was just from the video games, Shadow of Mordor. Tammy wants to guess Numenor. Did we see Numenor in the movies? No, I don't think so. Rivendell was built in the Second Age, 1697. That's great. I am not optimistic. I do not see the story value of a First Age flashback. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Going back into Lothlorien. Kay says Lothlorien. The Grey Havens. Andrew says it's the Grey Havens. You guys are way off, actually. Fangorn. Candace thinks Fangorn. Nope. So the one location, I'm going to put this rumor at 90%. 90% accurate. Again, these are all rumors until they're not, until the show comes out. And you know what? Amazon is so sneaky, they could see a rumor gain traction and then go and take it out completely. We are going to see the great halls of Moria in their full splendor. We're going to see the great halls of Moria in their full splendor. The halls of Dwerodelf. We're going to see the door. You know, speak friend and enter. Might even see that be created. Like, who cast the magical spell to of that door open on that? So that's the other rumor, that the first season of Lord of the Rings is we're going to Moria. And in fact, along with that rumor, a lot of the cast that you've seen, I think they've announced, 30 people so far? More than you think are playing dwarves. So the dwarves are a big part of this show. The dwarves are a big, big part of this show. So that's the latest rumor. Rory says, almost certain to see the friendship between Narvi and Celebrimbor. Let's see. Andrew, what is Andrew raining on my parade for? Let me see. What did you say? What about Gondor and Minas Tirith? I don't think we're going to see that at the beginning. Oh, that's been discussed for ages, Justin. Okay, we've heard rumors of that. All right, what else? What else did we get wrong? Again, okay. So Galadriel has long hair. Lenny Henry is half size, but maybe not a Harfoot. Okay. What else? We've confirmed, for sure confirmed, Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales. We've confirmed merchandising rights. Tolkien Estate is said to be very happy with how things are progressing. So happy, in fact, that they're giving out these extra rights to things in the story. But let's see, main unit wrapped in April. That's true. We've got J.A. Bayona's episodes are a standalone entry point. Many people are telling us this, that Bayona's 2-part pilot is basically a full, complete standalone story. It almost feels like a movie. And so the rumors is that we're going to get the pilot. It's going to be a 2-part pilot. It might be even released at the same time, 2 episodes. Didn't they do that with Loki? They released the first 2 episodes, at once. They did it with JC. Oh, JC says WandaVision released the first 2 episodes at this. So the thought is we're gonna get this 2-hour pilot from J.A. Bayona, and then there's going to be a skip in time. So what does that skip in time mean? I don't know. Does this mean it could stretch to 10 seasons? Yes. In fact, Amazon has made it clear that they have rights to spin-offs. They have rights to do as many seasons as they want. Thank you, Princess Toy Nerd, for confirming WandaVision. Rory, what does standalone mean? It doesn't mean just longer. It doesn't mean longer. It means the first 2 episodes directed by Bayona are a complete story. Complete. Like you could watch the first 2 episodes and be completely satisfied with a beginning, middle, and end. It's not like at the end of the second episode, it's not a cliffhanger of stay tuned next week as we find out more. That's what standalone means. Bayona's 2 episodes are its own story. Without leaving, so what else we got in this chat? Basically, a 2-episode prologue. Prologue would imply that we're going way back and then we're jumping forward. Robert Hill says the first 2 episodes are the history of the First Age, Cliff's Notes version. Yes. Here's what I think the first 2 episodes are, because we know for a fact, it was in all the papers a couple weeks ago, that there was one of the world's best aquatic stunt women that worked on Aquaman, that worked on Avatar, has been on every major water-based movie in the last 10 years. One's the world's best. She had a big accident while filming the first episode with J.A. Bayona. She had a big accident. She hit her head in a giant water tank, and she had to have multiple surgeries. And it just came out a couple weeks ago that Amazon settled with her for $500,000. So she got $500,000 to help with her surgeries and recovery and all that stuff. But it was definitely an accident on their set. And this is partially why Amazon was so reactive to the Dana Grant fundraiser, which is a separate stunt woman from Wonder Woman, saying that her medical issues were not related to her work on Lord of the Rings, which is true. So anyway, there was a big aquatic stunt injury for the first episode while they were filming the first episode. Here's my theory. Complete conjecture. I might be totally off base. Here's my theory. based on all of that stuff I just told you, I think the first 2 episodes show the fall of Numenor. Straight up. It's a 2-hour movie of the fall of Numenor. We see it. We see all the aquatic action. We see it fall into the sea. We know that there's a bunch of aquatic stunt people, the best of the best in the world. We're working on the first couple episodes. We know that they filmed a bunch of water stuff at the very, very beginning, and there's been less and less water stuff in the last 6 months of filming. So my theory is J.A. Bayona filmed the hard part, the fall of Numenor, just the very end. And we watch that. And then when we get to episode 3, it's a jump in time to Galadriel trying to figure out what went wrong. Why did this happen? Who's responsible? I think there's a jump in time, not too far ahead, where it becomes kind of not a detective story, but there's Galadriel and the elves want to know what happened to Numenor, and they go out on this quest to talk to everybody, all the races, the dwarves, the elves, the men, from everywhere, just to see what happened. Because by the time we get to the third age of the Lord of the Rings from the movies, the elves have given up on Middle-earth. They have. The elves have given up on Middle-earth by the time we get to the Lord of the Rings in the third age. This is the elves in the second age still caring about the place, still keeping the best records, better than the men. So that's what I think. I think J.A. Bayona's 2-hour pilot is the fall of Numenor. Just basically, how the last days went down, and then through the rest of the show, the elves are trying to find out what happened, and through that, someone like Galadriel goes to the Elvish records, or what do they call that when Obi-Wan went to the records? The archives. Remember when Obi-Wan went to the archives and discovered all this thing, and it set the plot further forward? What if Galadriel is the main character of the story, and she goes to the Elvish archives somewhere, and that's where she reads about the corruption of the elves, and we see the flashbacks. Just like remember when Gandalf went to the archives and was reading about the dwarves dug too deep? Remember when Gandalf picked up that piece of paper and he's just like, okay, they unleashed a Balrog. I think the flashbacks to the corruption of the elves will be shown later in the episodes as a flashback to research being done. Okay, so that's my soapbox. Let's go to the chat room. Let's see what people think. Again, you can text or call your opinion of everything I just said, 530-64-FRODO. And if you're watching on the archive later on, you can text your opinion. I'm not going to answer phone calls all day and all night, but you can text your opinion, and I'll see it, and Cliff will see it. All right, let's see. Rory in the chat room says, I'd rather it be chronological than like this. I thought we had a timer on this thing. Let's see. I'm going to the chat room. All right. Fabricio wants to know, when will we see a trailer? I think we're going to see a trailer when Wheel of Time comes out. So I think November or December. We might even see something during New York Comic Con in October. But I think they are very far away from a trailer. Let's see. Justin, I'm for one, glad you are not a screenwriter. Boy, I am glad I'm not a screenwriter too, because none of this makes sense. I just want to see what I want to see, but I want to be surprised. I don't know what I want. And that's what the whole point of the show runners are here. Lau in the chat room says Detective Galadriel is here. Come on, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome to have Galadriel on the case? It starts with our Farazan saying Rosebud. So what we've got other people. K2S who says you need to build Numenor into the show in order for the fall to have importance. See, that's the interesting thing. Everyone says the show will spend 5 seasons making us fall in love with the island of Numenor and the metropolitan society that it built, that it has. And then the end of the series is the fall of Numenor. And I think that's short-sighted. I think the end of the series is the prologue to the Lord of the Rings films. The end of the series is the last alliance between elves and men. It's not the fall of Numenor. You know, is the fall of Numenor a season 3 like red wedding that we know is coming, but most people don't? And I don't know. The fall of Numenor is going to if they do it that way, the fall of Numenor is going to be way bigger than any red wedding. It's going to be the biggest thing on TV until the final episodes. Let's see what I'm going back to the chat room. What you guys are saying? Is it confirmed that the actor who played Benjen Stark will play Sauron in Lord of the Rings? No. Oh man, how do I say this? The Sauron rumor that we posted last week is that Sauron will not be revealed in season 1. I think that's going to hold true. I think if this show does well, if this show does it right, we will be guessing who Sauron is all the way until the big reveal. And it's going to be a big reveal. I do not think it's going to be Benjen Stark. I think there's so many rumors we've heard. We've heard so many rumors of like who Sauron's going to be, but we're not going to know. Sounds like a lot of very experienced talent working on this series. Yes. What else we got? Unfinished Tales. Let's see. Let's go back. Joseph Maul will be Anatar. No. None of that. The only confirmation we have is Morfydd Clark is Galadriel, and Elrond will be played by young Ned Stark, Robert Arameo. Those are the only confirmations we've got. Young Ned Stark. Remember those flashbacks where young Ned Stark is fighting on that hillside? It was like in 1 or 2 episodes. Robert Arameo is now Elrond. And I believe, based on the original casting of Will Poulter as Elrond, who had to leave the project because his schedules didn't work out, I think Elrond is a main character in this show. Absolutely main character. Rory says, I'm just here for Nazanin Boniadi. Me too. Actress Nazanin Boniadi is one of the most amazing actresses working today. You guys are not prepared for what is coming up with her, but she is a wonderful Iranian English actress. And the latest rumors, I think we posted it on our Twitter from Redanian Intelligence, is I think we have her name and we have a description of what her character is going through in season 1. So if you want spoilers, big spoilers for Nazanin Boniadi's character, we have a character name and we have what she's going through, the trials that she's going through, and the setup for her character in season 1. If you go to our Twitter account, look for the link to Redanian Intelligence. Honestly, I'm kind of bummed out that I read that because it just felt like a big spoiler. Based on the spoiler that I just said, it does not sound like she's a Numenorian queen. It doesn't sound like she's royalty at all, even though she has the talent and skill set and looks for royalty. I don't think that her character is that. Tammy wants to remind us that just because it filmed first doesn't mean we'll see it first. This is a good point. Nazanin is Sauron. Anyone could be Sauron now. This is what I'm talking about. Sauron, the deceiver, took many forms. Wasn't it last week? Were you guys here last week when someone said that Sauron could be like a frog or an alligator? Like, you know, if he turns into... he ends up a flaming eye. Let's be honest. He ends up a flaming eye on top of a tower. So what happened? What happens to Sauron that is his final form out of spite? And you have to wonder, when Galadriel and the Hobbit cast Sauron back to Mordor, he is stuck in his flaming eyeball form. So it's a form that he's been cursed as by whom? That's the question. Who cast the spell that turned Sauron into a flaming eye, and what did he do during his time during the Second Age that would lead to a being turned into a flaming eyeball? That's what I'm curious about. That's Animagus. Wait, we're crossing the streams. Isn't that a Harry Potter reference? Rory, you think you heard someone might play a mom in a tribe with some family beef? Yeah, that's Nazanin. That's the rumored Nazanin character. Brecklin has a great question. Why do I think he didn't choose that form? Why would Sauron choose to be a flaming eyeball? I don't have an answer for that at all. Why would anyone want to choose, like, of all things in the world, why would you be a flaming eyeball? Are there other flaming eyeballs that gave you that inspiration? Like, I don't, like, the one ring is circular, but that doesn't mean it looks like an eyeball. Robert reminds us Sauron didn't have the power available to regain his fair form after Eru smacked down Numenor. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, that's right. Oh boy, it's already over. All right, we've had an hour-long show. So that is the latest rumors that we've heard. What's true, what's false, what is working. Everything else is starting to check out. So the other big thing is that Celebrimbor, the Ringmaker, is being recast. So I think one of the new actors that they just announced in the last few weeks has been recast as the Ringmaker. Dude, I love reading this chat. Sauron was weak and basically confined to Barad-dûr. Was he not? Yeah, but why did he choose his form? See, this is why I think if they show the destruction of Numenor in the first episodes, you can start to set the chess pieces in motion for Middle-earth. Like, okay, Numenor struck down. Galadriel and Elrond want to know, why did Eru destroy Numenor? What does this mean? Where's this coming from? Where's the great evil? Did the destruction of Numenor get rid of the great evil? That's a great question for Detective Galadriel to ask. So That's why I think if so, stew on everything we just talked about this hour. Because I don't know, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense to set up the show like that. I appreciate everybody in the chat room. Thank you for calling and texting. You can text the hotline 530-64-FRODO. That's really our phone number. We are open. Feel free to come in and have a drink. The Scum and Villainy is now open for business. It is open 7 days a week. Y'all can come down here and enjoy a pint. And pretty soon, you'll be at the Hobbit Patio with the Prancing Pony and Oversized. Doesn't that sound amazing, folks? And anyone that's been to the One Ring convention events, you might remember the photo op of like being in a barrel full of dwarves. We're going to try to squeeze that in here. There's so much we can do on the Hobbit Patio here at Scum and Villainy in Hollywood. I appreciate all of you for coming in, and since I'm alone here, I'm going to walk around and shut off the stream. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for your text messages, and a lot to think about. The exciting, this is the exciting part of being a fan right now, because we'll get a bunch of little leaks and we can stew on that for a while. So, all right, we'll catch you next week. Hopefully Cliff will be back by then. And till next time, this is Torn Tuesday. Follow us on all the socials. Like and subscribe. And do subscribe to our YouTube page, please, because that's really helping the algorithms. All right. And check out our new show, Collecting the Precious. It is up on YouTube now. New episodes at random points. I don't know his publishing schedule, but Collecting the Precious for all your great reviews and conversations about all of the coolest new collectibles for Lord of the Rings. I'm Justin. I'll see you next week, and I'm going to go turn things off.